Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand, Manchester United versus Fulham preview. How are you all doing? It's an odd situation being a Manchester United fan at the moment, but Mourinho out of danger at the moment. I believe he is. I think a lot of people feel that he is. He's managed to scam his way through three ridiculous draws. Palace at home, Southampton away, Arsenal last night. 3 points from the last 12. He's still in a job. And now he gets to play Fulham, and I think I'll talk about that in a moment. But the reality is, I don't think he's just safe for now. I think he's safe till the end of the season. And the reality is, I really do believe, and I think a lot of you will agree with me with this, that the Manchester United board are businessmen, and they've written this season off. They've written it off. They've written it off and said, well, you know what, if he somehow gets us top four, great, but we're not going to change anything till the summer. We don't really care what the fans are saying. This is about, if we're going to sack Mourinho, we're not giving him the satisfaction of giving him 20 million quid. We're going to give him 5, which is what he'll get for not qualifying for the top four. And that's what we're run by. And until they prove me otherwise, that is what we are run by. We are run by manipulative business people who do not want to do what's best for the footballing side of this club, which is what we are, which is to sack him, bring a new manager in and try and build something and give them a few months to try and build something rather than just chucking it into the hands of a new manager in the summer. As I've said before, you could sack Mourinho now, get a new manager in, we'd all be patient. He's got 4 months of games to see what he likes, see what he doesn't like, and then bring in who he wants and get rid of who he wants in the summer. We will remove Mourinho in May because it is cheaper to do it. We'll get a new manager in, everyone's on holiday, and then next season's a transition again. It's poor management in relation to football, but our board is all about the money, and that's what they're doing. I think they've written this season off and gone, well, at least we are not. One thing we are not going to do is give Mourinho his full payout. We will wait until top four's gone, and then his pay is reduced, like it was for Moyes, like it was for Van Gaal. And I think that's what's going to happen with Manchester United. And that is why many of you were saying it was such a bad result. It was such a bad result last night because maybe he would have been sacked if we'd lost. I personally don't think so. I don't think he would have been sacked. And as David De Gea has said, he said, look, you know, Manchester United should be winning titles. That's what we should be doing. But it's impossible this season. It's impossible for us to do that. The aim now is to get top four, and that in December. A year ago, it was December the 10th. We played Manchester City. It was December the 2nd when we beat Arsenal at the Emirates and played fantastically well. We were second in the league. We went to play Man City. They beat us at Old Trafford, and our season was over. Our season was over on December the 10th last year because we knew the title had gone, but we were second place. Who'd have thought a year ago our season would be over because we can't even get bloody top four and we'd be stuck in 8th? I mean, the drop-off is horrendous. It's absolutely horrendous. But I must just tell you a sad story, actually, before we get into the Fulham preview. I must tell you this sad story. I was walking along. It's really sad, so just have your tissues ready. Not for that. It's not going to be exciting. It's going to be a tearjerker, this. I was walking along this morning, just dropped the kids off at school. I always take the dog with me, Robbie. We're walking along. I'm on my phone, and I just had a message from a mate, and I'm reading the message, and Robbie slips out my hand, goes straight across the road, and I read the message on the phone, and I'm like, I can't believe what's just happened. He messaged me to say Mourinho's been sacked, and my heart starts racing, and I check it on the BBC, and it's a joke. It's a joke. I bet a lot of you thought Robbie was going to get run over, didn't you? No. The sad thing is, my mate sent me a message saying that Mourinho had been sacked. I would never doubt that person. Best man at my wedding, best mate, and he says Mourinho's been sacked. So I believed it. I've never felt such happiness in football, and I checked it on BBC Sport. It wasn't true. I messaged him back. I said, what are you doing? He says, just having a bit of a laugh. I was bored. Robbie was fine. He just went across the road and had a shit. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't. That's, to me, is just how desperate I am for Manchester United to make the change. I was so happy for that few seconds. So happy. But anyway, Manchester United versus Fulham at the weekend. Look, I know I say we're going to win every week. I know we're going to say every week. But we are going to win. We're going to beat Fulham at the weekend. And you know why we're going to beat Fulham? Because they are bottom of the league. You know, at 5 o'clock, when I'm doing my match reaction on Saturday and I'm saying Manchester United have won, Sergio says, don't play with my feelings. You should know me by now. Imagine when I really do have a sad story. I think that is a sad story. But drop a like. But what was I going to say? The Fulham game, we will win on Saturday. We will win on Saturday because they are bottom of the league. They are effectively a championship side, Fulham. They are terrible. They are conceding, I think they've conceded 36 goals in 15 games. So they're averaging conceding 2 goals a game or more. They've only scored 15, so they're only averaging a goal a game. They're averaging over 2 going in. Manchester United are much improved yesterday. They were a lot better for a couple of reasons I'm going to talk about in a minute. But Fulham are dreadful. Now, of course, people are going to say Palace were dreadful, but Fulham are even worse than Palace. And Ranieri's come in and he's done a good job. They play a 4-2-3-1 for the last couple of games. Callum Chambers and Seri, who I like, Jean-Michel Seri, I quite like him. They're sort of the anchor midfielders. Then you've got Sessegnon. They've got a lad from Atletico Madrid on loan as sort of like their number 10. Is it Vitio or something like that? And then sometimes it's Schürrle or Kamara. I can't remember his name. It's gone. And then obviously Mitrovic up front. But their defence is terrible. They're a poor side, Fulham, and that's why they're bottom of the league. And they're coming to Old Trafford, and it's absolutely the perfect game for Jose Mourinho to have. I wish we were playing Liverpool this weekend. After that Arsenal performance, I would rather we played a decent side and got whatever result we're going to get. Fulham at home, bottom of the league. United, I mean, you've got United players. I couldn't move on my timeline. I don't even know why I'm following them. I don't know why I'm following them. I mean, even the Manchester United official Twitter account put something out saying, not a cell phone in sight. Not a cell phone in sight. What? Who says cell phone? I mean, maybe you do in other countries, but in America, in England, we don't say cell phone. We say mobile phone, you know. But you got United players all over Twitter. Fight, fight, fight. Yeah, we never give up. This, that, and the other. It's like, hello. We've taken 3 points from the last 12. We're 8th in the league. We've got negative goal difference. You know, Arsenal gave us a Christmas present equaliser. De Gea made a world-class save. We're celebrating a point at home. We needed to win last night. If you want 4th place, you had to win last night. And players are coming out celebrating that. So I think there is an odd feeling of optimism around Manchester United. I've seen it with fans on social media today, and the players are really, really pleased with what they've done. So I think there is a bit of optimism around United. I think Herrera is key to get to United at the moment because he will run and run and run. He is a bit like a lapdog. You just let him off his lead and he runs around with his tongue out, running around everywhere. And I don't say that in a negative way. I think that's exactly what Manchester United need, a little bit of energy. So I think if Eric Bailly plays as well, he's the same. They're just energetic. I'd like to see Rojo play. I mean, let's talk about my team on the left in a minute, but there's a couple of contributions here which I need to read as well. But what I want to say is, just in relation to the effort levels that Manchester United players are putting in, and Mourinho talks about effort, and a lot of fans on social media are talking about effort. I mean, realistically, last night, for me, Arsenal deserved to win. You know, even 24 hours later, in the last 20 minutes, they had the better chances. The goals we scored were jammy. The goals they scored were jammy. Take them out of the equation, it's 0-0. Who had the best real chances? Arsenal had the best real chances. Arsenal, I think, come away from that game probably disappointed they didn't win. I don't see how we can hypothetically be disappointed we didn't win, but there wasn't actually any reality chances where we can go, we should have won. You know, I think it's hypothetical. I think Arsenal had the chances to win the game and they didn't. It was a wet, windy night and we put in a lot of effort. And all I can think of when people keep saying this to me, Stoke City in the late noughties. Stoke City under Pulis, when Arsenal used to go up there and they couldn't win on a wet, windy night in Stoke because Stoke would put a load of effort in and they'd get a couple of jammy goals and they'd get a draw and sometimes they'd get a win. And that's all I'm thinking today. I'm thinking Stoke. Because all I'm hearing is effort. And all I saw last night was a windy night and it was wet and it was hard to get hold of the ball. And the big clubs don't like it at Stoke on a wet, windy night in a midweek game where there's loads of effort. And I just think that is what we are. And where did Stoke normally used to be in the league under Pulis? Around 10th to 8th. And I just think that is what we are. And our fans, some of our fans seem to be celebrating this effort. And I'm like, hold on a minute. We've spent 400 million in the last 3 years. 400 million. We've got some of the best players in the league. All right, they're not performing to that level because of the manager. And I just think, I think United are going to have a renaissance. I'm resigned to the fact that Jose Mourinho is here till May, by the way, and I think we are going to have a renaissance. Now, when I say renaissance, that means results that he can sort of, say are good. I think I can predict the next 4 results, so let's see how right I am. We'll beat Fulham. We'll draw in Valencia. We'll lose to Liverpool. We might draw, but I think we'll lose to Liverpool. Then we'll beat Cardiff. They're the next 4 games before Christmas, and I think those will be the results. So I think Mourinho's going to, for an 8th team that's in 8th, that's quite good, isn't it? 2 wins and a loss. That's the sort of thing that you do. But I do think that we are now going to start picking up a couple of wins against the shittier teams that we're going to play. I mean, Fulham are bottom of the league. I can only repeat that. Fulham are bottom of the league. I know some people are saying, we won't beat Fulham, Mark. Come on. They're bottom of the league. They're absolutely atrocious. And you just know Mourinho's going to get a win. Virgil Hainsey says, if Jose has a clause about top 4, are we able to sack him the second it's mathematically impossible? Or do we have to wait till the end of the season? Mathematically impossible is what will happen. Well, it might not happen, but if you think about it, Van Gaal is... The only reason Van Gaal stayed after it was mathematically impossible is because we had an FA Cup final. With Moyes, as soon as it was mathematically impossible, he was gone. I think he went end of March, early April. Stephen Featley said that about the Saints, probably part of the bus, says Stephen Featley. I just genuinely think that we will win this game, Stephen. I really do. I really, really do. I mean, let's talk about the team to my left, because we know that Fulham will line up in a 4-2-3-1. I know the 3-5-2 is a good formation. I really like the 3-5-2. I think it really works really well for Manchester United, but I'll be very surprised if we use it for a couple of reasons. One, to play a 3-5-2, you need 3 centre-backs, and there are a few players I don't think we should be playing in this game, which I'll explain in a minute. And also, 3-5-2, under Mourinho, it can become a little bit defensive. Like, every time Arsenal had the ball, we became very part of the bus, and then we would try and press when we had the ball. It's 3-5-2 against Fulham. It's not a formation to play against Fulham. It's way too... It's not... You can be way more expansive. There are players... I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't play Matic. I mean, he's just a magnet next to the centre-backs. He's a waste of space, but he will play. But we need to be more on the front foot against Fulham, so I think we'll revert to the 4-3-3. Obviously, De Gea in goal. I think Eric Bailly needs to play, and I'd play Smalling with him. Unless Phil Jones is fit, I would play Phil Jones. And the reason I'm saying that is Rojo, Smalling and Bailly aren't doing great. They've literally all come back from injury, or they're all not very fit. They played a big game on Wednesday night. I would try and rest some of them with an eye on the Liverpool game coming up. So I wouldn't play Rojo in this game. I wouldn't play Rojo. I would play Dalot because I wouldn't play him against Valencia. I'd keep him for Liverpool. So I really hope Dalot plays and not Valencia, because I think Dalot needs to be playing in the bigger games now, and obviously bring Luke Shaw back in. Matic will play, and then I would play Pogba. I would play Pogba, but I don't think Pogba should play for Mourinho, because Mourinho has dropped him after criticising him last week. And did Pogba do enough in that 20 minutes to start? Well, I would play Pogba, but I'm trying to put my Mourinho head on here. He's never going to drop Matic. Herrera's got to play just for his energy. And I think Lingard's done well in that position. So Matic, Herrera and Lingard is my prediction. Martial's injury is not as bad as we think. Mourinho has said that it's like a pre-injury. He felt tightness. He's not actually injured. It's just a bit of tightness. So you don't risk Martial effectively. Bring Mata in, put Rashford to the left and Lukaku up front. I would like to see Rashford up front, but who's he going to play on the left? We haven't got Sanchez, we haven't got Martial, so I think Rashford will end up going there. So that's my predicted lineup on the left. It's not necessarily how I think we will play, and I think we might win this game. This is where I'll probably get it wrong. I think we're going to win this game. I think my score prediction is going to sound stupid, but I'm going to say I've just got a funny feeling. As much as I'm Mourinho out, and as much as I know you lot are, I think we're just going to have to sit back and suck it for a bit. I think this result, I think it's bad enough after the Arsenal result, the amount of people are saying we've turned a page, but I think we will see a result on Saturday where those page turners will be like, yes, Mourinho in properly. I think we're going to win it maybe 2-3 2 or 3-0, I think we'll win on Saturday. But they're bottom of the league. You know, if we beat Fulham on Saturday, and after the game people are saying, yeah, we're moving in the right direction, they're bottom of the league. The next game to judge United in is Liverpool. That's the game to judge us in. If we get any positive result there, then, let's discuss it. But beating Fulham at home, they're going to get relegated. Well, they might not get relegated, but they are bottom of the league. Virgil Hainsey says, because mathematically impossible, maybe February. It may be. It may be. As soon as Mourinho's fee drops, and basically, if we're not in the top 4, Mourinho's payout will reduce massively, because Manchester United always have that in the manager's clause, and most managers are happy to sign it, because at Manchester United, you should always be getting top 4 100%. But yeah, I do think that the situation with Manchester United is that we have owners now who are 100% sticking with Mourinho because of money. I mean, my biggest fear is I think they're going to give him money in January. And I know that's something that we spoke about. You can click the eye in the top right-hand corner. We did the Transfer Weekly show at lunchtime talking about these Alderweireld rumours and the Pogba rumours. So I'm not going to get into that because we've done that before. But I certainly do think that there is an opportunity that Manchester United will spend some money in January. And that terrifies me. That really does terrify me that we're going to give any money that we... I mean, imagine if we sign a player for 30 million. We could have sacked him with that money. We could have sacked him. But you know what? I am also resigned to the fact that maybe the manager we want isn't available till the summer. And I will always hold it against the board now with Mourinho. They were going to sack him against Newcastle. Why did they change their mind? That was the golden ticket. If Mourinho had been sacked after the Newcastle game, we were within touching distance of top 4. I mean, we weren't massively away from the top at that time. I mean, I don't know if anyone's got it to hand how many points we were off top 4 and first place before that Newcastle game. And I know we won it, or after the Newcastle game. But, that was the opportunity. That was where... And I will keep saying this. Look, Jose Mourinho's got a great Wikipedia page. It's way better than mine. And Jose Mourinho is, without question, one of the greatest managers in English football history. But so's Arsene Wenger. And you know what? Very few managers walk out on top. And his star is fading fast. But they should have got rid of him. They should have got rid of him after the Newcastle game, and that was the opportunity there. And that's why I respect Mourinho for what he's done in the game. And when he leaves United, I'll still respect him. I cannot stand him as Manchester United manager now. I think he's like that, when you want a divorce and you're coming home and your partner's just irritating you in everything they do. The way they smile, the way they eat their crisps, everything is irritating me about Mourinho now because I just don't want this relationship. I don't want it. And it's not fair on him, I suppose. But I just don't want it anymore. And when he's gone, I'll look back on the good bits. And I'll look back on the good bits that he wants us to look back on. The Champions Leagues, the titles. None of which are with us. But it's not really his fault. It's not really... It is his fault. But we know all about that. It's a well-trodden path. The issue now is that it really is about the board. It really is about how they've not removed this manager. I mean, Marlon Bloomfield says it's Gary Neville's fault. Well... Look, Gary Neville, I think, is one of the best pundits in the UK. Is he a good manager? Well, Valencia would say no. Is his opinion as valid as anybody else's? Of course it is. He's played for Manchester United, but to me that's irrelevant. I think he's a Manchester United fan who's got an opinion, just like you and me. But Gary Neville wanted us to keep David Moyes. I mean, that was abundantly, obviously a wrong opinion to have, but it's his opinion. Did Gary Neville keep Jose Mourinho in a job because of that rant he had on the Friday night when it came out that Mourinho was going to be sacked before the Newcastle game? I don't categorically know, but I certainly think it swayed something. I think if Gary Neville hadn't had that rant, then maybe Mourinho would have been removed, but we'll never know. But having said that, you can't blame Gary Neville. Gary Neville's opinion to have a rant about it is his right. It's weak from the board that they got swayed by Gary Neville having a rant. If they did, they should have removed him then. And if they shouldn't have removed him then, they should have removed him after the Southampton game, after the Crystal Palace game, after the Manchester derby. They've had so many opportunities to do it and they haven't done it. And he's still in the position now. And that's on the board. But The problem at Manchester United is we've got great businessmen in charge, but not great football people in charge. And that is why we're always in trouble. And unless they get it right with the right manager, as they did with Sir Alex Ferguson, you know, we have been under this board in successful times. But when they get the managerial appointment wrong, it really exposes them as not football people. Business people, yes, not football people. They wait too long to make decisions. Way too long. As I said before, Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, if this was them, they would have already sacked the manager. But not at United. We do take too long doing things. And when Marlon says again, Gary Neville is dying for us to back managers like we did Sir Alex, but those days are done. If a manager does not perform after 2 years, then it's time to change. Look, I don't mind sticking with the manager if there are sprouts of positivity there, but I can't see anything with Jose. And we're going over an old path that I don't really want to go over here because I've said it so many times, but I don't see anything with Jose Mourinho to make me think that's my predicted lineup, Ebbs. That's the team I think we will pick on Saturday, and the formation as well. But I don't see anything with Jose. I mean, even the team yesterday, there's a lot of positivity with the team yesterday. Dalot played, Rojo played, Bailly played, Herrera played, Rashford played up front, Lukaku was on the bench, Fellaini was on the bench. You know, apart from Matic, I think a lot of people were very happy with that team, apart from where the hell is Fred and Pereira. You know, it's funny, isn't it, that Fred and Pereira, can you remember in the summer, when we were on the US tour, Fred and Pereira were always pictured together. They were playing really well. They were in the team, I think, for the first game of the season against Leicester. They played well. They were photographed together. Isn't it funny how neither of them can even get in a matchday squad at the moment? Jose's got his favourites. Killian Willis says 3 points from 12 is shocking. The board is killing United. Well, I agree with that. I think it's one of the best comments of the night. You can be angry with Mourinho, you can back Mourinho, but this board should have made a decision now. They really should have done. But yeah, that team he picked against Arsenal, you know, there was a lot of players in there that we like. But we almost are blinded by that team last night because we don't want to look at the past and we don't want to look at the future. And yes, the present is very relevant in football, but actually the past, the recent past, and the very immediate future are also relevant as well. That team he picked last night wasn't a Jose Mourinho team. He doesn't play 3-5-2 very often. It's the fans who like the 3-5-2. He's been, you know, Eric Bailly's been fit for a lot of the time over the last 3 months, and he's not even been making matchday squads. The same has been with Rojo, although he's been injured a lot. The same has been with Dalot, who's also been injured a lot. Herrera has been fit for a lot of the last 3 months, and he's been totally ignored. You know, Rashford has been fit and on the bench, and Lukaku's been playing up front. So last night he picked a team that not only was the formation the one that United fans want, but it was also a lot of the personnel that United fans want. Well, he hasn't been doing that in the recent history. And yeah, you can look at the past and say, well, you've always got to look forward, but he's had opportunities to pick these players previously this season and he's refused to do that, which exposes him as a failure. Do you trust him over the next few weeks to keep picking that team that he did against Arsenal, or do you think he's going to revert to what he's done over the last 2.5 years and go back to the style of football that he always plays with the personnel that he trusts, i.e. Fellaini, i.e. McTominay, i.e. Lukaku, i.e. Valencia, i.e. Phil Jones, i.e. Chris Smalling? And I think that is the thing, isn't it? You know, I think it's too late for Mourinho to even be allowed to turn a new page. But is he going to turn a new page? Is he going to stick with that team last night? Is he going to stick with those players last night? And if he does, was there enough last night to even say it was turning the page? Or are we, like I suspect, very much celebrating a result last night because players put the effort in? You know, I think it was very reminiscent of Stoke City 10 years ago, playing Arsenal on a Wednesday night in the winter, where it's raining, where the better team can't get their foot on the ball because the opposition have put a load of effort in. And that's what United's performance reminded me. And especially in the last 20 minutes, when Jose's kicking walls because he can't get a situation where United can loft 40-yard balls into the box onto the head of Fellaini and Lukaku. That's why Mourinho was frustrated, because he saw a weakness in Arsenal that maybe if we just chuck as many balls into the box as we can, it's windy and it's wet and it might skid off somebody into the back of the net. That's what he was getting frustrated about. I mean, if I was Emery, who was the persona of calmness, I mean, the chances they carved open, you know, they should have won that game. So I think there's a few question marks about United, but I do feel that over the next couple of weeks, especially, probably into the new year, apart from the Liverpool game, I think United are going to pick up some positive results. We've got some very, and I know we've said this before, but these are ridiculously winnable games. Fulham are bottom of the league. Cardiff are shit. Huddersfield and Bournemouth at home. I mean, Bournemouth just lack a cutting edge. They should have beat us a few weeks ago. Huddersfield are terrible as well. So effectively, we've got Huddersfield, Cardiff and Fulham in the next few weeks. And if we don't take 9 points from those, I won't be surprised. But realistically, we should do. So I think if you are a Mourinho winner, I think you're going to have a good Christmas. I think United are going to grind out a few wins. And Mourinho's going to be happy, and those Mourinho outers, well, to be honest, do we need to be unhappy? I mean, what I would say is if you are a Mourinho outer, just try and be calm. Try and be calm, because it's not your fault the board haven't sacked him. It's not Mourinho's fault they haven't sacked him. And actually, if they did sack him now, there's a large part of me that thinks, well, it's too bloody late anyway. I mean, it is too late. This season has been destroyed by Mourinho and the board taking too long to make the change. I don't think a manager can come in now and get us top 4. What I would like to see is a manager come in and just, you know, let's write the season off and start building again. 4 months of just messing around with the team with a manager that wants to play attacking football excites me. 4 months of just winding down on the long goodbye with Mourinho, doing an arena tour, like here I am, doing press conferences. It's like bloody Elton John's last bloody tour, isn't it? It's just a once great performer is now just going to go out and do crap versions of what he used to do. But that's what we've got. That's what we've got, Mourinho. Maybe I'll get proved wrong. Maybe he will turn things round. You know, never say never, but I just cannot. Apparently Matic might be suspended for the Fulham game, says Payet's Magic, which I hadn't realised, but Dimens has said it as well. Oh, I'm suddenly absolutely ecstatic. So we're definitely going to win then, because if you take Matic out of the team, you've got Herrera drops in, and then you can play Pogba and Lingard. With Mata, oh, we'll definitely win then. We'll definitely win. I think we're going to win anyway, but I mean, CP says United can lose to anybody. Of course they can, but I think United will be fine. I think United will be fine at the weekend. And to be honest, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have a family commitment on Saturday, which I'd said I can't do it, and there's a massive part of me after last night going, you know what, I might just do the first hour, do the team news, and then listen to it on the radio at the family function and do the match reaction. I'm not. I was even thinking about going up to the game a few weeks ago. I'm not massively interested. I personally do not really have a lot of appetite for United at the moment, which is ridiculous for me. It really is. And I know I will watch it because that's just me being sulky. But, I mean, I will watch it. I know I will. But it is a bit of a game where, well, you know, if we draw, nothing will happen. If we win, well, we'll just beat bottom of the league. I mean, even if we beat them 8-0, I'm just going to be like, so? Oh, 8. Just like 8th, you know. This is what we are, but I think I do think if you are a Mourinho outer, you're just going to have to try and work through this, because he's here for a while. He's here for a while, and it's going to take some time. I think the frustration is that we had an opportunity, didn't we? We had an opportunity to get rid of him, and we didn't take it. But there you go. I just hope that we can put in a good performance against Fulham and maybe score a few goals, and you know, at least we can watch Match of the Day on Saturday night and pretend that we're decent and just try and forget that Fulham are absolutely shit and the bottom of the league. But you know, there we go. If somebody else tells me that Matic is suspended for the Fulham game in capital letters, I'll just block them, because I've already read it out twice. He's suspended apparently, and it's very, very good news. But I have already read it out twice, so thank you, everybody. And of course, you won't really get blocked. I'm joking. If you didn't hear the story about Robbie the dog, I think you really should go back to that. I think it was about 5 minutes in. It's really sad. It's just one of them things, you know, it's just one of them things. But anyway, please do drop a like on the video. It'd be nice to get 500 likes while we're live. I presume Matic is suspended because of accumulation of yellow cards, because he did get booked on Wednesday night, didn't he? And I'm very happy about that. It's put a smile on my face after a sad day. But what do we got tomorrow? We'll be live tomorrow, obviously, with Friday Night Live. Got a very exciting reveal tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So make sure you're watching tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Mourinho's press conference tomorrow. I'll see. I'll say we always do a press conference reaction, but what are we going to learn from Jose Mourinho press conference for Fulham? Apart from he's going to get his knob out. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to massage his ego. Well, maybe he's going to massage his own ego. He's going to hint at players not doing what they need to do. But let's be blunt here. United are at home to bottom of the league. Whether you're mid-table, top, whatever, you've got to beat bottom of the league at home. You know, it's almost irrelevant. The game is almost irrelevant unless we lose or draw. A win is absolutely... It should be nailed on. It should be nailed on, he says. So I think we will. Jacob, you're an arsehole. He just said Jose's been sacked, but there you go. Ali says, is anyone on the Discord? Because he's heading over there for a chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Please do drop a like on the video. And if you haven't seen the transfer show because you're at school, you're at work, or you're having a sleep, or doing better things, make sure you go and watch it. It's on the homepage, or you can click the eye in the top right-hand corner. Talking about the offer from Juventus and how United are now favourites to sign Alderweireld in January. So if you want to watch that, eye in the top right-hand corner. Eye of the Tiger, over and out. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon.